welcome back to a brand new episode. And I'm super excited because I haven't done this format recently. Today I want to do some Q&A, and these are basically questions that I've received frequently or received in the past, or that I have been receiving a lot. And I was like, okay, let me group them all together and just create a video around it. If this is your first time around here, my name is Trudy. I'm a mom of two beautiful kids. I work in corporate tech. I had been running my online coaching business for 2 years, and this year I decided back to go to corporate tech. So here I am having all this experience and basically walking you through all of my learnings of diving into entrepreneurship full time. Also, just like being in the messy middle where I'm now balancing both while being a mom as well, and also my love for everything marketing. So think of personal branding, positioning, everything when it comes to marketing I love, and I'm also here to share my expertise as well. If these topics are of interest, help me out by hitting the subscribe button so that we can also grow this community. I have a couple of questions here, and we are just going to go through it one by one. The first question is, do I regret Target? Do I regret going back to a 9 to 5 after making 6 figures with my online coaching business? The answer is pretty simple. No, I do not regret. So I'm currently working in corporate tech. I started my online business, which it ended up being a coaching business, but I never had the ambition for it to be a coaching business, to be honest. It started as a podcast, and then I was like, oh, I could mentor people, I could coach people, but that's a story for another time. So when I started the business, I was working in tech. So I was working for a different company, and while I was working in tech, I built up the platform called Digital Dreamers Hub. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, just type in Digital Dreamers Hub, and that's how you're gonna find me. So I did that for good 2 years. And then in 2024, I decided to take the leap and just go all in, because why not? This is something that had been on my heart for so long. And I was just like incredibly happy to even have the possibility to do that. Like my business was in that position where financially in that position where it kind of like made sense to make that leap, or let me say I was able to make that leap for myself. The options were there. So I did it for 2 years, and now I'm back in tech again, working for a different company, and do I regret it at all? Like, I feel like my nervous system is now at a place where I'm like fully like I feel like I'm at a place where I can also just test and try with content. Like I'm playing around. And that is the same concept I did when I was starting this business and it started to grow, because all I was doing is I was playing around. I was just testing. Nothing was that serious, right? And it grew and it grew, and I started getting clients and clients and clients. All of a sudden, I got to a place where the fun was gone for me. And now I'm back at a place where there's fun. I can test and try. I'm not dependent on solely that income again. To me, in this season, it's the best for me and my nervous system. So I don't want to be like, oh, this is how it's going to be forever. Like nothing is forever. But for me in this season, and looking at responsibilities that I have, and also being a mom of 2 little kids, and the vision that I have for my business and how I want to like go about it, and the time that I want to give myself, this is actually the best setup. And no, I don't regret at all. I don't regret going back to a 9 to 5. And here's the thing as well, not every 9 to 5 is the same, right? It could have been that I would have regret this decision if it was like, if I had to commute every day. Like I'm not commuting every day. I'm on a remote contract. So I work from home, right? I can really blend in. Like I don't feel like I'm missing out on my kids growing up, or like I'm the one bringing them. I can pick them if I want. Like my partner and I, we do balance it, but I don't feel like I'm missing out on that. And that's so, for me, it's very, very important that I still have that element going on. So it depends. If you would have asked me and I was in a role where I had to commute to work, even like a couple of days per week, could have been that the answer was like, yeah, I regret. But for me, number one was, how can I find a role that I'm home the majority of the time? Because that's what, like, since COVID, I've always been working from home. Sometimes companies don't understand that you've built your life around the fact that you're home. Even, bringing your kids to school or to daycare or stuff like that. And the moment that you have to commute, it changes the whole house management. Question number two is, what is one belief about premium clients that's actually costing expert creators and coaches money? One belief that I sense that expert creators or coaches have is that when a premium client buys a lot of low ticket, they are low ticket buyers. And that's, in my opinion, absolutely false. Because if you look at how people are buying right now, there's a shift happening that people are not, obviously, you have people that will jump into a premium coaching and spend like thousands upon thousands of dollars, but you have to be mindful that they didn't just like make that decision on the go and they thought you were cute, so therefore here, take my money. They've been silently following you, consuming your content, your long form podcast, YouTube, going through your website if you have, going through your testimonials. There's some sort of connection, and then boom, when the opportunity is there, they buy. The whole idea of people buying low ticket are not high ticket buyers, that's absolutely false, because it is actually a solid business model, an ascension model, where even high ticket coaches are creating an ascension model where they're selling low ticket offers to then upsell you in that whole customer journey, where eventually you become a premium buyer, right? So it's still an idea that it's still hanging around, like, oh, they only buy like cheap challenges, or they've only bought my ebook of $7. Well, do you have the proper ascension model to upsell them? If they bought something from you, that means there is a willingness to learn from you. Mind you, people have so many options more than ever, but someone saw something of you, your ad, and thought, let me invest that $7, let me invest that $10. They could have spent it anywhere, but they bought your ebook or challenge or whatever. So that doesn't mean that person is not a premium buyer. But if you leave them at the low ticket, yeah, of course they're going to be low ticket buyers, right? So oftentimes how you've mapped out the customer journey yourself to get them to your key offer or your key product. Another belief that I feel is still there is that if my offer was good, they would have been in my DMs. And I feel like if you have the idea that people just like will slide in your DMs, you could be missing a lot of money on the table as well. Like, obviously, yes, they can come to your DMs, but trust me when I say that there's also a strategy of you raising your hand to them. Like, you actually opening the door. They might have been in your world for a long time, but they might not, for whatever reason, they might not have been in your DM, but you being the one reaching out and having that conversation, not necessarily with the idea of you selling something, but you just having that conversation with that person and making that person feel seen and understanding what they are, the problems that they're having and what they're trying to solve. Even that alone can unlock the sale. And I feel like social media has a way of making entrepreneurs very passive in thinking that, you know, things just, well, I'm creating great content. So, why aren't they in my DMs? Or they should be reaching out. Or, companies that are making millions, companies that are making billions, some form they do outreach. Outreach is in a lot of businesses. It's one of their strategies as well. It may not be their main, it may not be the go-to, but one way or the other, there's some form of them reaching their hand and not being passive, even though they have like tons of money that they're spending on ads, they're still reaching out. Don't underestimate the power of you just being human and just having a real conversation with prospects that are already in your audience. Like, to me, that was one of the biggest things that helped me grow my business very, very quickly, I would say. Okay, question number 3. It says, how do I find time to build my business while working 9 to 5 and raising 2 kids? Like, I'm just going to be honest. To me, I don't find it easy. But I didn't find it even easy when I didn't have a 9 to 5. That's the crazy thing. And I don't think necessarily it's about what you have on your plate, whether you're a mom or not, or you have a 9 to 5 or not, or how many things that you're juggling. It's about, do you have a proper system, and can you commit yourself to the system? And instead of focusing on the big goal, like, oh, I want to have 10,000 followers by X, or I want to have this and this by then, can you focus on the micro habits? Like, that's what the book of Atomic Habits is actually all about. It's like, instead of like focusing on, oh, I want to lose X amount of kg, it's more about the most interesting thing that you can ask yourself, like, okay, that's the goal, that's cute, we've said it once, okay, but what are the micro habits that you can commit yourself to that will help you get to that outcome? And I think oftentimes we're missing that part, the micro habits, the systems that are in place to get there. I'm not perfect, but I have created a system in a way where I've committed, for example, one day in a week where I record my content. So throughout the week, I will be getting inspiration by looking at other creators, by watching other YouTube video, for example, and be like, hey, this is a format I can also do, or listen to certain podcasts, and I will jot them down, put it in my notes, I'll put it in a workbook so that I don't forget. Then I have Claude, where I'll also be chatting with Claude a little bit, like, okay, here are some ideas. What are some other ideas that you can suggest for me? And then I get some more ideas. So by the time that I'm at my recording day, I know exactly what I'm about to film. Like, I'm not brainstorming on that day, because that's incredibly overwhelming to do. Ideation, filming, it's just a lot. So I would suggest picking a day during the week where you have some time to create your content, to create your offers, to do outreach, to sell your offers, create your digital products, you name it. Whatever it is that is a priority in your business right now, pick a day that you can fully devote your time to do that. Like, and really do it, right? No one is going to hold you accountable. It's just you versus you. I keep saying that. And that has helped me a lot. Like, literally, instead of like kind of like freestyling my way into it, like, too much. And then also, one thing that I do want to add, which has helped me a lot, is also, okay, what schedule can I commit myself to? Yes, I have the ambition to upload a reel every single day, because then you can grow and it might grow your following and you name it. But for me right now, it's not realistic. And I could do it if I really want to, but it's just like, at what cost? What is the trade-off? And for me, it's just like not worth it yet. So for me, it's like, okay, 3 days in a week, I'm gonna show up, right? 3 days in a week, I will post on Instagram. And now I'm committing to posting every week on YouTube as well. I've made it super easy. Maybe you might not be seeing it, but literally I have my iPhone here and that's it. And I'm in my room and that's it, in front of a mirror, and I'm keeping it super simple. I'm like, I don't want to stress about tech. I don't want to stress about my camera being off, like charging my camera, having whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to stress, right? I just want to like make it easy for myself. And that's what I've done. So I would say, don't overwhelm yourself. Start committing to a schedule, right? Whether it's once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, then already going for the 7 times a week. Trust me when I say that even the people with a lot of followers, even every day can be overwhelming. And oftentimes they will have a team, they will have a social media manager, they will have resources that are helping them. So be realistic and start small. See how well you're doing in creating those atomic habits, and then grow from there. What do you look out for when you're deciding to work with a coach or a mentor? If I were to buy something from a coach, again, it depends on what the price is. But let's say it was high ticket, right? Let's say it's maybe group coaching or a mastermind or one-to-one. I would definitely be far more discerning, because I have been in so many programs and I've noticed the difference between mentors teaching from what they know best because it happened to them and that's all they know, and coaches that have experience themselves, but they also understand the scope of it, so that when they are in front of other people that are not a mock-up of them exactly, they can still coach them through the desired results without forcing them to become a copy of them, if you get what I mean. Very important to understand whether they just have experience because it happened to them, or they carry experience, but they also understand the concept and the nuances in that space, if you get what I mean. I've started my own coaching business. Like, I've done it for 4 years. I've coached others. So I have results that have worked for me. I have results that have worked for clients. But I also have a degree in marketing, a bachelor degree and a master's degree in marketing, right? So I don't have just my experience and what works for me or even what works for clients. I also get nuances of certain marketing strategies, if you get what I mean. So that's how I would go about it, honestly. Like, if I would do my next like high ticket purchase, I would definitely check, like, I wouldn't be phased at all in terms of numbers or how much they're making. I mean, it's cute, but it doesn't necessarily tell me everything that I personally need to know if you would be able to help me, coach me through the desired results that I'm looking for, right? So numbers, yes, I mean, somehow, but it wouldn't be the leading factor at all. And I've been in situations where I allowed it to be the leading factor. And to be honest, I don't know, it wasn't the best experience, to be honest with you. So, first and foremost, check that nuance. And also, and I keep saying that, don't go with hype, because hype will make you buy. Don't fall for hype marketing in purchasing things. I want you to also be discerning in understanding what do you need right now Why do you need that? To get what results in your business. Like, I want you to be crystal clear, because yes, you can learn every skill that's there: how to yap, how to create webinars, how to create low ticket offers, how to sell in stories, how to create a personal brand on LinkedIn, how to and all of them, they sound super compelling, right? It's like, oh my God, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But it's really important to be discerning and understanding, like, okay, wait a second, hold on. Let's put our foot on the brakes and understand, like, what does my business need from me right now? What pivotal skill do I need to learn right now to get X, to get my first 5 clients, to hit my first 10K month, to book my first speaking gig, to do whatever it is? What is one, just one, not many, because there's so many things that you can learn and so many things are valuable, 100%. But if you have to focus on one, what is one skill that you know the moment that you learn that, you will see it in your Stripe account? You will see it in your revenue. That is the understanding and the discerning that you need to have before you decide to purchase, a course or whatever, or high ticket. I actually don't care. Like, it could be a mid-ticket offer, it could be a high ticket. Practice understanding what you need. Because one thing that you don't want to do is like spend money on courses and whatever, and you don't even know where the email is to the login details. Like, the hype marketing got you. That's my 2 cents on it. Next question. What's your prediction in how the information industry, coaching industry, is going to evolve? Very interesting question. So my prediction is that, and I think I said it in the beginning of the year, is that personal branding is going to be important. And people are throwing the word personal branding, personal branding. Let me rephrase that. Human aspect of your brand, of what people know of you, is going to be important. And the reason is simple. The reason is AI. There's a lot of AI. People are making money from things they didn't create themselves, right? And now you're seeing that people are now connecting a lot more with like the identity of the creator, of the mentor or the coach, right? Like, it's not just the expertise anymore. It's about the messy middle. It's about being raw. It's about showing people that indeed life is not just the highlight reel, but it's also it goes like this, but in a way that you can still be inspiring, right? There's a duality happening right now, and I love it. To be honest, I love what I'm seeing now more online, that people are bringing more of themselves, more raw, real stories. Yes, the highlights reel is there because obviously that's also what builds trust, that builds thought leadership in some way. So you need that element, but it's not just that anymore. Whereas 5 years before, you could just like go with a highlight reel and people would just buy whatever it is that you're saying. And now it's not that, right? And I think, for example, Jessie Jean is a beautiful example of being that vulnerable woman online, showing herself, like letting people in. It's like you're in her home drinking coffee, right? Like, it's just like very approachable, very like, hey, come in. Like, I don't have anything to hide. What's your question? Let me see if I can help you out. Like that form of relationship, but then again, dropping numbers here and there to build that trust with the audience is what you're seeing is working really well. And you see that a lot of creators are doing that, showing more of themselves, being vulnerable, showing glimpses of what's happening behind the scene, showing the messy middle. I've been doing that a lot more as well. And I'm noticing that those types of content outperform the ones that I'm just like teaching. So that's data. So that is the evolution. That's where we are going. And I think it's going to be even far more. Like it's going to be like even more. And that's not to say that you have to show everything of your life. Absolutely not. But people want to truly connect. The connection is one of the biggest currency right now, is that like that humanness to your brand is what's going to be like still more important even in 2027. Another trend that I'm seeing is that people are now not just buying high ticket, right? So people are also like creators and coaches are also tiptoeing in digital products because they've now seen the shift that like AI has come to the mix. So people are no longer just buying high ticket anymore. People also want just like your quick digital product, your mid-ticket offer, right? Just to start with, like something small. They're not necessarily up for a long-term engagement just yet. They like you, but it's not like, I want to have like that long-term relationship just yet. So what can you offer them? And you see that a lot of creators and business owners are tapping into that more so into digital products, creating membership, creating like a fun way to still get paid, to let people in and then expand from there. Most likely the essential model will be on the back end of things. And I think that's going to grow more. And then the last question, we're wrapping up. How did you find your first customers when you started your coaching business? Pretty simple. I did what I just spoke about, and that was reaching my hand to people online, because your audience is online, your audience is everywhere. Don't overwhelm yourself being like, oh, should I be on TikTok? Should I be on Instagram? Most likely, unless you are in a very particular niche, most likely your audience is on every platform. They're either on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it. So it's not necessarily about like where, it's more so about like which platform do you like? Are you active on the most as well? And what format do you feel like you're easy in creating, right? If you like videos, if you can create videos, if you're on the platform a lot, just go for Instagram or TikTok. If you're more like, oh, I love the writing, I love posting pictures, you name it, go for LinkedIn. So it's more so just make the decision, because most likely your target audience is like on each and every platform, right? Could be that maybe they're more on LinkedIn than on Instagram or vice versa. But for your first couple of clients, it wouldn't really matter, right? So go on there. And then what I always say is like, see your account, see your social media account or handle as a portfolio. What do you want to represent the moment that people that don't know you land upon your page? What do you want them to read? What kind of feeling do they need to get from you? So the moment that they walk off and someone would say like, hey, like what is the page all about? They can almost describe you in like 3-4 words. That's exactly what you want to start building up. And here's the thing, that's a long-term strategy. It's not something that you build just today. It's something that you have to give yourself time to expand, to learn, to test and try, right? But it is important to already be intentional with that. And then what's going to be important is find your audience. Like, where are they? Where are they? Right? Can you find them in communities? Are they on school? Are they on Facebook group? Like, where are they hanging out? Are they on Reddit? Where are they hanging out and having these conversations with one another? Where are they coming together online to have a discussion? Right? Because your target audience is going somewhere to get information. It's consuming something to get information. It's meeting up with like-minded people to discuss and get tips and tricks. Where are they? Find that. And with AI, you don't have to do the guesswork anymore. And then reach out to them. Reach out to them and be like, hey, I have this amazing offer. I'm looking for, just be transparent. Don't feel like you have to put up a performance. Be transparent and be like, hey, I have this offer. I'm looking for 5 people that would love to test it. I wouldn't necessarily give it for free. I mean, you can give it for free, but trust me when I say, if you pitch it well, you can have your first, let's say, 5 clients at a discounted rate, but yet people still will pay. I always say challenge yourself in a way that people will pay for that offer. And there are a lot of tricks that you can, I wouldn't say tricks, it's just there are different strategies on how you can get people on board, that they will find it valuable enough, even though this is your first time selling it, that they will find it valuable enough to spend money on it. You don't have to give away for free. If you want to give it for free because it does truly doesn't matter, you just want to collect the first testimonials, of course, be my guest. But if you want to be like, hey, I truly want to see if I can really sell this, you can. You can do it at a discounted rate. And it all boils down to how well you are able to articulate the offer, how well you can articulate who you have in front of you, like who this program is for, and a very clear, desirable outcome. Truly isn't complex. It's pretty straightforward. You don't need tech tools to do this. You don't need to spend hundreds upon hundreds of dollars for your tech stack to get to your 5 customers. Please don't. You don't have to spend ads to get your 5 customers. You don't have to have a personal brand just yet. Obviously, have something there for them to see, for them to have an idea about you. But do you need to have like a strong personal brand already in place? No. Do you need followers? No. Like, you can have your 5 customers even if you have like 50, 100 followers. Really get simple. Like with your first couple of clients, it's really simple. It's just like really rolling up that sleeve, dropping that ego, building that self-esteem and confidence, and just like go. That's it. Thank you so much, guys, for vibing with me today. Again, if you enjoyed this episode, just click the subscribe button, and I will catch you guys next week.